All right, let's really quickly go over some of the resources and tools for MyFitnessPal to make your tracking journey just a little bit easier. So obviously I am on my desktop version here, but the most common way you'll probably utilize MyFitnessPal, with the exception of adding recipes and with the exception of pre-tracking, is through your phone. So my very first strategy that I have for you guys when it comes to tracking is to pre-track as much as possible. This is one thing that I do utilize the desktop version for. It's super simple to go in here if you're meal planning, if you're prepping your food as you're in your kitchen, to have your computer standing by, to take whatever you're creating, weigh it, and go ahead and put it in MyFitnessPal. Other strategies are to go ahead and mark any containers with the macros that are in that container as you prep it, so that you are aware of what you have, and it just takes a little of the stress off and saves you some time throughout the week. So a couple of things here, really simple. We're just going to add foods. Obviously MyFitnessPal has a database, but one of its best things that it does here is it will memorize your trends. It will memorize what you eat most consistently. And so if you're on your laptop or your desktop or whatever have you, you can go in here and you can kind of check things for your breakfast, and you can just go ahead and do that. But whatever you want to add for breakfast, you can go in here, you can add your weights. You can add, if you don't have a food scale available to you at the time, you're going to do your best guesstimation as far as to what you're consuming, and all you're going to do is hit add to food diary. It's really helpful to pre-track as much as possible, as much as you know that you're going to be consuming. So any snacks that you have on hand. One of my best strategies is when I do a grocery order or make a grocery list and get my groceries, as I'm putting it away, for example, if it's a container of yogurt and I know I'm going to consume it that week, I go ahead and put it in. It just takes one less to-do thing off of my list for the week. And then when I go to open MyFitnessPal for that day, if I already have that tracked, it helps me fill the holes in for what I need to consume. So quick tools, you can quickly remember a meal, you can copy from yesterday. So, again, if you eat the same breakfast every single day, just copy. If it's a breakfast from last week, you're going to hit copy from date, or you can copy to date. So all these little tools are in here just to make it easier. But the recipe, you can see the next video for recipes there. But one of my favorite things to do for this is not necessarily make a recipe as you would for cooking, but make recipe for things like my smoothies, for things like I like a muesli concoction in the mornings, which I put my collagen powder in. Sometimes I'll put some oat milk in, the actual muesli, and some berries. And so I made that into a recipe itself, and so it's very easy to go in here and just add a recipe to make that simple. That's something that I have most breakfasts, so one thing that I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll add that for the entire week. And then if something were to happen, I would to go out to breakfast, or have to travel or something like that, or just not feel like eating it, then you can always go in and you can just hit this little thing over here and it will go away. And then you'll have a fresh slate and you can add whatever you need to add in there. So really simple to use. If you're utilizing your phone and it is a food that has a barcode, you can definitely utilize the barcode scanner, to be able to put that in there. Just check in with your volumes, with your weights, and make sure you're tracking as accurately as possible. But again, the more that you can pre-track, the more that you can go ahead and take off of your plate as far as things to do, the better off you will be. So I hope this is helpful.